What's up, guys? This is Simplistic bringing you yet again a 1v1 between Gameboy, who is all the way over here. He's the blue Protoss spawning top right, versus his opponent, Danhman. Whatever. Should say Dan the Man. That'd make it easier. But he's red Terran spawning bottom, well, middle, left. Whatever. That doesn't really matter at all. So let's go to production, pull this all up. I'm still just casting games that Brian has, told me to cast, because I just need to cast all these, and then tomorrow, well, I'll cast Blood Rush sometime soon, which is supposed to be an amazing game. So if you haven't already seen part of it from Errol's channel, come check it out on my channel. And Errol's channel is just Errol is short. Go sub to him too, cause he's our friend. So we see Danhman just build that supply depot. He's waiting for enough money for the barracks. There's the barracks going down. Brian's barracks is also being produced at about the exact same time. Brian's scout does find Danhman's bases. He's been pretty fortunate with these scouts, always finding the base first, but he always gets invaluable scouting information that always screws him over somehow. But Danhman pulls that SCV off the barracks really quickly, just to get Brian's SCV to retreat and go back to his base. And it looks like, I don't know why where is that guy going? Oh, he sends it all the way back. He's going back into Danhman's base to try and snipe this worker yet again. Which I don't even know how you would be able to see that right there. Oh, he can see it. That's crazy. And it looks like he might be able to take it out, which would be pretty funny, because Danhman is actually ahead already, which is really bad. Being ahead this early in the game means you may have some problems going into the rest of the game. But Brian is doing double early refineries. He's at about 15 supply, which is not the greatest I've ever seen him do. But Danhman is going to see all of this. He's going to see these double refineries, and he's probably thinking Hellions or very early tanks. And if you've watched any of my other games, Brian loves Hellions. He absolutely loves to do Hellion drops. Like, if he could perfect the timings on Hellion drops and make sure he's always scouting, then he could easily just completely wreck anybody with these drops. I've actually watched him, over his shoulder, play a few games, and he's just done such massive amount of worker damage that he's caused people to GG just from the worker loss. Just instant GG when they look at their base. But he does have double Hellions going down. The supply depot is about to be made. I'm sure he's going to do the tech lab switch like he usually does. Danhman also has a factory, but this might be a tank kind of factory, because there's only one factory going down as opposed to these double factories with all the building swaps for Blue Flame. And he better get Blue Flame this time. He didn't get it last game, and he said at the end, "Oh man, I forgot Blue Flame." And it's like, how do you forget Blue Flame? You get Blue Flame Hellions to use Blue Flame. But Danhman is going for this tech lab starports. He's going one Rax factory and one starport, which is, I don't know, I don't really see it a lot because I'm silver. But Brian is also getting the starport so you can get that one medevac. He has multiple Hellions on the way. He is going straight for the tech lab, which, yep, he's getting tanks. He's going to try and do some marine tank push, which is, if you watch the other videos, he's lost a couple of, he lost last game to a marine tank push because he forgot Blue Flame. But Blue Flame is being researched this time. He has more Hellions on the way. He has the medevac here to pick them all up. But these tanks in the marine tank upgrade are just they are what kills him. And it's always this, as soon as the first tank shows up, a marine tank push is going to push with the tank. So this tank always shows up, and it's always really bad news, because other than these Hellions, he's not spending his minerals at all, which isn't the best. So, ooh, uh-oh, he's gonna have to re-drop down low. Try and pick up all these Marines. The blue flame is not done yet, so he's trying to micro these Hellions perfectly to try and pick up the Marines, but not get within range of the tank. But the tank does just sit there on the low ground. The Hellions aren't going to be able to get by. All 4 of these Marines just run straight to the mineral line. Hellions are all taken out. And, oh no, he's picked them up. He's going towards the Marines. The tank is up there protecting the Marines, so the medevac pulls them up. Where was the Viking? There's the Viking. The Viking may be able to see this. And all these SCVs are being brought to fight with him. He's going to go in for that tank. He might be able to recover if the tank goes down. He would just have to go push with these blue flame Hellions. He just killed everything, so now this Viking is... Oh, the Viking snipes the medevac. I think it loaded up a few SCVs. Ooh, that's rough. He needs to go back. Yep, there he goes. He's going back to mining. The Hellion is getting pushed around. He has Cloak and Banshee on the way. I don't know. It just seems like in TVT, it's definitely much harder to go for this super early game Hellion Blue Flame harass, because in a TVT you don't generally want to do a fast expand, and same in a TVP, because it's just Zerg fast expanding is just so like, it's so common because well, just is. It looks like Danhman is going to be expanding behind this, and he is going for a tech lab on the starport, which could mean, well, he did see this tech lab. He could think that's Banshees, which it is. So he could be going for a Raven or Banshees of his own. I don't see any upgrade for Cloak yet, so it definitely looks like he's going for a Raven, at least to me. He has another push coming. This has a handful of Marines and 2 tanks. I don't think Brian's going to be able to spot this, but the Viking is giving vision on the high ground, and there's really nothing he can do about this because he doesn't have a Viking of his own, but he does have a... Where's the Banshee? He has Cloak but no Banshee. Why does he have Cloak but not a Banshee? The Banshee would be able to kill these if he... Oh, God. I don't know. Brian is slipping up this game. He's supply block now because this supply depot already went down. This one's going to go down very shortly, which is going to greatly reduce the supply. And Danhman is just... Danhman must be masters or something. This guy is completely like outplaying Brian so hard. And Brian just really can't do anything. He doesn't even have a Banshee this time. The Banshee was like a hero last game until the very end. Again, I just think in TVT he really shouldn't go for this right off the opening. Maybe later game he could go for this kind of build, but he needs to play more defensively in the opener. Was his problem here. And holy hell, I don't know what this is about. Maybe it's just that... Oh, I think these were all like a streak of like massive losing. And where did you learn your build? Because that build was pretty sick, with the Raven being able to... Or the Viking be able to get the high ground, and the Raven is coming to back up this Viking. And Danhman's just like, well, bro, it's an original TVT build. Why don't you use it? Because this is probably the most common build I've ever seen. Now we're just watching the text because there's nothing left for Gameboy to do. Because now he's outsupplied by like 40, and he's got... Danhman's got all this stuff. He could easily just go send all this in and win really quickly. But instead he's just talking to Gameboy. I don't know why he's... Like, I don't understand. What is he talking about? Brian, you know MM tank. 11111. What is that? What is 11111? I don't know what that is. 11111, then another rack. What? Alright, I don't understand all this StarCraft lingo. I'm a noob. So if somebody could like explain to me what 111 means, then I would really appreciate it, either in the comments or on Facebook, because I know all of you guys are on my Facebook. So have you ever lost with it? I don't know, he's probably only lost it when he gets out macroed. I wonder what he would lose to. Just out macro, I guess. I guess Brian's trying to pick up a new TVT build because his TVT build was not the... This is the first time I've been shut down with Lekoix. I don't know what that is. I don't know what to do now. Brian is just completely giving up. He's driving. He's just going to land this factory, and he decides to GG. And Brian has left the game. But the only thing he could have done differently is, again, just scouting his opponent's base, knowing that these tanks are going to come. And he needs to be making an army, or at least getting this blue flame upgrade, and the Helion's out much faster. But that's the only problem I've been seeing. Thanks for watching, and this has been O Simplistic.